Most gardeners think the carrot season is winding down, but August is actually your secret weapon for a massive winter harvest. By using a simple burlap insulation trick to trap deep moisture, you can force germination twice as fast as normal. Watch how we hack the seasonal clock to grow sugar-dense roots while everyone else's garden sits empty. If you've written off carrots for the year because it's the middle of summer, stick around, because what I'm about to show you flips that assumption on its head. August isn't the end of carrot season. For winter carrots, it's actually the starting gun. And most gardeners miss the window completely because they're only thinking about spring and early summer plantings. By the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly why carrot seeds fail in August heat. The simple trick that fixes it, the step-by-step method to pull it off in your own garden. The mistakes that quietly ruin this technique for people who try it without knowing the details, and which carrot varieties actually reward you with sweeter, sugar-dense roots by the time winter rolls around. Let's get into it. Here's the problem almost nobody explains clearly. Carrot seeds are already slow and unreliable to germinate under perfect conditions. They're tiny, they carry very little stored energy, and unlike a bean or a squash seed that can push through almost anything, a carrot seed gets one real shot at breaking the soil surface. In hot August soil, that already difficult job gets a lot harder. The top inch of soil, right where you've planted your seeds, can dry out and crust over within hours in direct summer sun. Once that surface hardens, a carrot seed simply doesn't have the strength to push through it. It doesn't die exactly, it just stalls, waiting for moisture that may not come again before the seed's limited energy reserves run out entirely. That's why so many late summer carrot plantings come up thin, patchy, and disappointing. And it's exactly why most gardeners quietly conclude that carrots are a spring-only crop. They're not drawing the wrong conclusion from bad luck. They're drawing a reasonable conclusion from a real problem. They just haven't seen the fix. And here's the part that makes this worth your time. The fix isn't a special seed, a fertilizer, or some complicated setup. It's controlling one single variable that carrot seeds actually care about. Consistent, unbroken moisture right at the soil surface, exactly where the seed is sitting. Here's the trick, and it's almost embarrassingly simple once you see it. After sowing your carrot seeds as usual, lay a single layer of burlap directly over the row and water it in thoroughly, right through the fabric. That's the entire technique. No special tools, no cost beyond a scrap of burlap you likely already have or can find for a couple of dollars. But simple doesn't mean it isn't doing real work. The burlap accomplishes two distinct things at the same time, and both of them matter. First, it dramatically slows evaporation. Instead of that top inch of soil drying out and hardening every few hours under direct August sun, it stays evenly damp for days at a stretch. You're not fighting the sun anymore. You've removed it from the equation entirely for that narrow strip of soil. Second, it shades and cools the soil surface. And this matters more than most gardeners realize. Carrot seeds germinate poorly once soil temperatures climb much past 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And bare, exposed soil in full August sun can blow well past that, sometimes reaching 95 or even 100 degrees at the surface on a hot afternoon. At those temperatures, carrot seeds essentially go dormant, refusing to germinate at all until conditions cool down. Burlap knocks several degrees off that surface temperature simply by blocking direct light, which is often enough to pull the soil back under that critical threshold. Put those two effects together, and you get a soil surface that behaves like it's early September instead of the peak of a heat wave. Moist, cool, and consistent. That's the exact environment carrot seeds germinate fastest in, and it's where the twice as fast claim actually comes from. Not from any magic in the burlap itself, but from removing the two biggest obstacles standing between the seed and germination. To put real numbers on it, uncovered August sowings often take 14 to 21 days to fully germinate, and a meaningful percentage of those seeds simply fail along the way, which is what produces those patchy, gap-toothed rows. Under burlap, with consistent watering, many gardeners see germination in as little as 7 to 10 days, with a noticeably fuller and more even row as a result. That's not a guarantee for every climate and soil type, but it's a realistic range based on how much faster carrot seeds germinate once moisture and temperature stop working against them. Now let's walk through exactly how to do this, step by step, because the details here are what separate a great winter carrot harvest from a mediocre one. Step 1. Prep your bed properly. This is the step people are most tempted to skip, and it's the one that determines more of your final harvest than the burlap trick itself. Carrots need loose, stone-free soil at least 6 to 8 inches deep. Work in some finished compost and rake the bed smooth before you sow anything. Rocky or compacted soil causes roots to fork, twist, and stunt regardless of how well they germinate, so a beautiful germination rate on a poorly prepped bed still ends in disappointing carrots. Step 2. Sow at the right depth and spacing. Plant your seeds at the depth listed on your seed packet, generally around 1/4 inch. Carrot seeds are tiny, so resist the urge to bury them deeper, thinking it'll protect them from heat. Deeper planting in already slow germinating seeds just adds more soil for that fragile seedling to push through. Water the row thoroughly before you ever put the burlap down, so you're starting with genuinely moist soil, not just a damp surface. Step 3. Lay the burlap. Use a single dry layer directly over the row, not folded double, which can actually trap too much moisture and encourage rot rather than germination. Water again right on top of the fabric until it's thoroughly soaked through. It should sit flush against the soil surface, not floating above it with air gaps underneath. Step 4. Maintain consistent moisture. This is the step that actually does the work, and it's the one people most often get lazy about. In August heat, that typically means checking once a day, sometimes twice during an especially hot stretch, and re-watering through the burlap whenever it starts to feel dry to the touch. The burlap is a moisture trap, not a moisture source. It only helps if you're still supplying water regularly. Step 5. Check underneath frequently, starting around day 5. Lift a corner of the burlap every day or two once you're in that window. The moment you see the first pale seedling stems pushing up through the soil, remove the burlap immediately across the entire row, not just where you see growth. Left on too long after germination starts, burlap blocks light entirely, and your seedlings will stretch into thin, weak, yellowish stems, desperately reaching for sun they can't reach. A problem called etiolation that can permanently weaken a young carrot seedling's growth. Step 6. Thin your seedlings once they have their first true leaves. Carrots sown this densely germinate close together, and crowded carrots produce short, stunted, twisted roots as they compete for space underground. Thin to roughly 2 to 3 inches apart, and don't be shy about it. A few sacrificed seedlings now means dramatically better roots later. Let's talk mistakes, because I see the same handful of errors quietly sabotage this technique for people who try it without understanding why each step matters. Mistake 1. Letting the burlap dry out. This is the single biggest failure point. The fabric isn't doing anything magical on its own. It's a moisture trap, and if you stop watering it regularly, it can actually work against you. A burlap layer that's allowed to dry completely can crust and harden in a way that's arguably worse than bare soil, because now the seedling has to push through both the crusted soil and the crusted fabric above it. Mistake 2. Leaving the burlap on too long after germination. Every extra day under cover once seedlings have emerged costs you leggy, light-starved growth that the plant often never fully recovers from. Check daily once you're in that 7 to 10 day window, rather than assuming you have flexibility. Mistake 3. Skipping proper bed preparation. Fast, even germination on compacted or rocky soil just gets you a full row of forked, stunted carrots instead of a patchy row of decent ones. The burlap trick solves germination. It doesn't solve soil structure. Mistake 4. Picking the wrong variety for a winter harvest. This one's easy to overlook, but it matters enormously for the final result. For an August sowing aimed at overwintering, look specifically for cold-tolerant, storage-type varieties, Danvers, Napoli, Merida, and similar types bred to hold up in cool soil, rather than fast-maturing spring varieties bred for quick, mild weather harvests. The wrong variety can germinate perfectly and still disappoint you at harvest time. Mistake 5. Harvesting too early. This is where the real payoff of a winter carrot planting lies, and rushing it means missing the entire point. Carrots left in the ground through cooling fall and early winter temperatures actually convert stored starches into sugars as a natural cold defense response, which is why a properly timed winter carrot, harvested after a few good frosts, often tastes noticeably sweeter than the exact same variety pulled in the heat of summer. Pull them too early, chasing size, and you skip that sweetening process entirely. Let's step back for a second because I want to be straight with you about what this trick actually is and isn't. It's not a shortcut around a carrot seed's natural germination timeline. It's not some hidden growth hormone in burlap fabric, and it's not going to turn a 2-week process into a 2-day one. What it actually does is remove the 2 obstacles that slow carrot germination down in the first place: inconsistent moisture and overheated soil, and give the seed the cool, steady conditions it would naturally get in a milder month. Put a carrot seed back into those ideal conditions, even artificially, even in the middle of an August heat wave, and it germinates close to its natural best speed instead of the slowed, unreliable pace that bare, sun-baked soil forces on it. That's a real, honest mechanism, not a gimmick, and it's exactly why techniques like this, sometimes done with boards instead of burlap, sometimes with straw or shade cloth, have quietly stuck around in serious kitchen gardens for generations, long before any of it showed up in a video like this one. So here's your action plan. Get your seeds down this week if you're aiming for a winter harvest in most temperate climates. Prep that bed properly first, don't skip it chasing speed. Get the burlap on, water it consistently, and check underneath daily starting around day 5. Pull it the moment you see germination. Thin your seedlings once they've got true leaves, and choose a cold, hardy storage variety so the plant is actually built for the season you're growing it into. Do all of that, and you'll be harvesting sweet, sugar-dense carrots long after everyone else's garden has gone quiet for the winter. Carrots that most people watching this assumed were months out of season by the time you even planted them. If this helped you get a jump on your winter harvest, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop a comment and let me know what variety you're planting this August, and whether you've tried the burlap trick before. I read everyone. Until next time, keep growing and keep getting ahead of the